Welcome to Penny for Your Shots, conversations and cocktails with brilliant women. I'm your host, Penny Fitzgerald, and I believe the best stories are the ones shared over a glass of wine or a cocktail. Each week, I sit down with women who've said yes to building something meaningful, often after years of putting everyone else first. We talk business, big dreams, and the mess in between. And of course, a few favorite drinks. So grab a glass, get comfy, and let's pour ourselves into Penny for Your Shots. What if the moments when you feel the most frustrated, the most emotional, even the most off, are actually the moments your body is trying to tell you something? In this conversation with Dr. Aumatma Simmons, we're talking about hormones, cycles, and how women are wired very differently than what we've been taught. And I'll tell you, this doesn't change what I believe about intuition, alignment, and women's wisdom. It confirms it and gives you a whole new way to understand why your body is trying to get your attention. Here is Dr. Aumatma Simmons. I'm just so grateful to meet you. Would you please share your name with my audience and tell us a little bit about you and what you do?
Yeah, sure. So I am a naturopathic doctor by training. My name is Dr. Aumatma. I've been in practice for almost 20 years, and I primarily have focused my career on helping support couples with fertility. Now I am stepping into how our hormones either support or ignite leadership in the feminine, being like for women specifically, which is very different than for men. So
absolutely.
Years and doing fertility and hormones and all of that, I've kind of come to this idea that we have kind of treated men and women the same, and yet men run on 24-hour clocks while women run on 28-day cycles.
Yes.
And when we try to fit into this box, it becomes discordant for our physiology, for our mental health, and it's leading to so much of the burnout that we see with women. So I've really been focusing on how do we share this message, and why am I the one to share it is essentially like I've spent my whole life around hormones and I have seen the burnout on the other side. So I am really passionate about bringing this message out into the world.
Love that. I love this so much because I totally agree. And I feel like women have been set up to fail trying to be in a corporate setting in that patriarchal system where, you hustle and grind and you keep moving forward, you keep putting one foot in front of the other, but it doesn't work for our system. It doesn't feel right. And I love what you're doing, the work. We know intuitively it doesn't work, but it's really cool to see the science behind it now that actually shows that, wow, there's a reason why.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like so much of that is hormonal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hormones have just been made out to be the bad guy forever. And, like I remember as early as 14 feeling hormonal and then like, oh, you must be on your cycle, that is very interesting because it's noticeable, but it doesn't have to be a negative. So I think it's really in this reframe of like, how do I reclaim that, yes, I am hormonal and that is my superpower. So I don't need to like shut it down and move away from it, but rather like better understand it and live with my hormones so that I can use them to the best of my ability.
Right. They help create humans.
Yeah, absolutely. They help create humans and babies.
Yeah.
Businesses and literally anything else we want to create in the world.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, yes. How did you come to your work? I mean, obviously we've been experiencing these things as we grow up, but I heard recently a doctor was in obstetrics and she had 6 or 7 years of doctor training, but only maybe 6 or 7 hours of training on menopause. and of the changes that we go through as we age. So 30% of our lives, doctors can't help us with or have not traditionally been able to. But how did you kind of come to this realization, or how did you move into that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I started out as a generalist in
Uh-huh.
naturopathic medicine. I had already graduated and I was practicing for about 4 years when I had recently gotten married, and my husband at the time had started asking about trying to have children. And every time he would bring up babies, my uterus would be like, and I was like, crap, like, do I not want to have children? Is it that this is not the right person and I made a mistake? And so I went through this like kind of exploration to just figure out what is this? What is it my body's screaming about?
Mm-hmm.
And what I figured out was that I did want to have children, but not with him.
Oh,
So,
wow.
so it was kind of a wake up call.
Uh-huh.
And me being who I am was doing the math in my head, like, oh, that's gonna mean another 10 years before I might be with someone that I could
Wow.
potentially have children with. Like,
Wow.
meet someone, date,
Yeah.
get married, then
Feel comfortable, all of it.
yeah. Yeah. So like in my head, I'm thinking, okay, I'm like mid early 30s now. It's gonna be mid early 40s by the time I'm ready to have a
Yeah.
child. Potentially. Who
Uh-huh.
knows, right? Who knows when that person will come? But it means that I need to be doing something to preserve what I have.
Oh, yeah.
And started researching fertility, just started going down the rabbit hole of what can I do to ensure that maybe one day, someday, I could have a child, potentially,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I wasn't looking for a guarantee. It was just like, I just need to do something.
Yeah.
And egg freezing was coming to market at that point. So this is like 15, 16 years ago. So
Okay.
egg freezing was just starting to come out. And back then, the success rates were not very good.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, that's not a great option. What else can I do? And I just kind of went down the rabbit hole of research. And what I found was actually there's so much I could do that will help support my fertility later. It's not going to be a guarantee, but it's not a guarantee either.
Right.
What else could I be doing? And I really came upon what I now call like the fertile lifestyle, which is living low toxin, uh, good high quality sleep, good high quality food and nutrition, and then like supporting my body and my physiology and my nervous system to better handle stress. So just to give you a picture of where I was at that point in my life, I was working 80-hour weeks.
Oh my gosh.
I was completely burnt out. I
Mm-hmm.
was trying to launch my business. It just wasn't going as well as I wanted. I was working really hard. It just felt like I was doing so much,
Mm-hmm.
not seeing yet the results of that. And as I started to think about this, I was like, oh my gosh, my hormones have been out of whack for years. And what do I need to do to fix my hormones? So I just kind of went on this journey,
Uh-huh.
healing myself. And along that, I started talking about what I was finding. And there were lots of women that are like, hey, you're doing all this research. Like, what's happening? What's up with fertility? How can you support me? And I was just like, the biggest thing that I have found is that we are told as very young women
Mhm.
that our fertility is going to decline at 35.
Yeah.
And that is the kind of end of our cycle,
Uh-huh.
the beginning of perimenopause. It's all the things, right?
Yeah.
And that was distinctly different. Or there was two things about that. One is I couldn't find any research that backed that up.
Oh.
So I was like, well, if there's no research on it, where did we get this idea that our fertility declines at 35?
Uh-huh.
And then simultaneously, I found there's a book called Women's Bodies, Women's Wisdom, Dr. Christian Northrup. Just like this book was sitting on my shelf. It's this fat. It's like the Bible for women's health. And I opened up to the chapter on fertility, and she's talking about women in other parts of the world that consistently get pregnant in their 60s. Not
Oh my gosh.
60s. I do not
Don't
want
scare me like that.
No, it's not like I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but there are parts of the world where that could happen. And I
Okay.
was like, it just opened my mind to the possibility that
Uh-huh.
if there were women having children at 60, then why couldn't we do it at 40?
Yeah.
Right? And that was the question in my mind. So
Yeah.
that was the framework for me to say, okay, I can't find any research on this thing. I traced it back to the idea that started in churches in the 1800s in France that have records of women not coming to baptize their children after the age of 35. And me being who I am was like,
Oh, that's interesting.
expectancy for
Uh-huh.
the 1800s in France. And life expectancy for women back then was 32.6, and most of them were dying in childbirth.
Oh, wow.
To me, that was like kind of hilarious because I'm like, wait, so this whole idea that we have that fertility declines at 35 comes from these ancient roots that don't actually match with where we are in society right now. We have way better technology, way better maternal survival rates
Uh-huh.
during childbirth. So we've made massive advancements in science, in birthing, in all of it. And yet we're still touting the same idea that 35 is the cutoff.
Wow.
That was the first like kind of shift of perspective that I needed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Really helped me open my mind to like, okay, if everything that fertility stands for is not true, what I learned is not true,
Uh-huh.
then how do I figure out what's true?
Right.
That was it. That was the start of it. And the more I shared that with other women, they were like, oh my God, you can help me with my fertility.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you can try. It's all theory,
Yeah.
to practice. But yeah, that was 15 years ago. And
Okay.
I figured I would do it till as long as there were people coming through the door that wanted that support.
Yeah.
And they keep coming.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure it's so helpful. Well, and not just for fertility, even though that's like a huge, huge draw and pull for people, but the things that you're talking about are really helpful for anyone, right? To be healthier longer and to stay healthy and to keep doing the things you like to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think a fertile lifestyle applies to everyone.
Uh-huh.
You do the foundation, then you're living a fertile life.
Yeah.
And that is creation of whatever it is that you choose to create in this world. So not just babies.
Yeah.
Babies are part of that. But sometimes we want to create businesses and we want to like whatever creation is coming through you at this moment in time. It can work.
Exactly. Okay. So tell us more about that. How to live a fertile life. How do you do that?
So I have three general foundations that we can start with to live a fertile lifestyle. The first is going to be to remove the blocks that are in the way of our fertility or creativity, you could say, in a broader sense. So the things that are going to be in the way physically in our bodies is going to be toxins. That's a big one. And the other big one is going to be mindset. So this mindset of, oh, I have a specific limitation, whether that's age or that's background, that's the way I look, the weight I am, whatever that block is going to manifest in our mindset as something that is keeping us from going for our dreams, for our creations in the world. So we have to get rid of those. And we can do that in lots of ways. I think the toxins are relatively easier to get rid of. And I say this like for women, all hormonal things have to do with toxins, right? So when we are exposed to plastic, for example, that is mimicking different hormones in our body, which then causes hormonal dysregulation. Our
Okay.
body thinks we have a hormone that we don't actually have. And then the hormone that we have isn't acting the way it's supposed to because it's not actual. It like screws with the brain and the detection system of what's actually present. So getting rid of toxins, getting rid of toxic mindsets, getting rid of toxic people. That's a big one. Which even in the fertility space, I find a lot of times is they don't even know them. These are people online that they're psyching out about of like, oh, another person pregnant. Oh, another person pregnant. And that
Doom scrolling.
Yeah, the doom scrolling, the oh my God, I'm not doing enough. Oh, maybe I should take that supplement. Oh, that supplement worked for that lady. Maybe I should take it.
That pressure, all of the pressure from everyone else is doing it, and why can't I?
Right. Yeah. And we're trying to like work so hard at figuring it out for ourselves that we're not opening to the bigger picture of like what's really going on here and how can I address it with some strategy. How can I stop doing everything in my power, which is often you may be even doing the right things, but doing the right things in the wrong order still not work. So yeah, like the first step is to get rid of what's in the way.
Well, and your body was telling you something, right?
Yeah. So for me, that was the wrong relationship. Get rid of that.
Yeah.
And I realized in the process, and this leads right into step 2, which is understanding our own bodies better. What is the wisdom in our bodies saying? And if your inner wisdom is saying, hey, you're on the wrong path, then are you okay to listen to that?
Right.
Everything around you is saying, that's crazy. And for my life, it was really easy to look around me and say, oh my gosh, like, my parents would be heartbroken. Divorce. That's not okay. In our culture, there's all kinds of pressures, right?
Yeah.
So that was part 1. But then like, oh, our friend groups are mixed and we have all these friends together and what's going to happen? And like, how do I navigate this from the perspective of this is what's true for me? And even though I made this commitment for a lifetime and I'm only like 10 months in at this point, it was blaring me in my face. And when I looked back at it, I was like, oh, my body's been telling me this the whole time.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
Information. I just missed the message.
Yeah, I feel that too. Like we hear what we want to hear.
Yeah.
It was an uncomfortable message, but you had to make the change. But yeah, I'm sure it was just so difficult to even accept that this is what's happening.
Yeah, totally. It was hard. And even I remember my father on my wedding day, like 2 minutes before he's walking me down the aisle, he's like, you can still pull the plug.
Oh.
And I was like, what? At my wedding. And he's like, it's okay. If you change your mind, it's okay. And I was like, wow, why would he say that?
Maybe 2 months ago would have been a good time to tell me that.
Well, he was just not a fan of this person. So it was not a surprise. Like, I need to have a divorce. But it was like, in retrospect, like I can beat down on myself about, I didn't listen.
Yeah.
I didn't. But the reality is I learned something from that experience.
Yep.
And yes, it was an expensive lesson. I learned what I needed to learn. And it was a good practice marriage to be able to go and live my fullest life.
Oh, good.
So, yeah, so it is so important to listen to our intuition.
Mm.
Even in my practice, I find a lot of times people are like, oh, we're talking to like 5 different doctors and we don't know who to work with. How do we know who to work with? And every single doctor that they've talked to has a hard sales pitch of like why they should do work with them,
Oh,
right? Like, you're running out of time. Now is your chance. We're the
oh my
best clinic.
gosh.
Oh, like so much pressure. And my sales pitch is listen to your intuition. If your intuition is telling you to go work with someone else, please go do
Mhm.
that.
Yep.
Because the people that are most successful with me are the ones that intuitively want and need to work.
Mhm.
So I I have just learned to have so much respect for each person's intuition. There's no right intuition. It's just
Mhm.
your intuition's guiding you. And if you're listening, it's like trudging you along in the direction that your soul wants to go.
Right.
And and if you're not, then it's okay. Like that's going to be a lesson too.
Mhm.
And sometimes that lesson is a hard one. Hopefully it's not like I just yeah, your intuition is guiding you and it's that wisdom often is coming through our body. So
Mm.
I find at least like in retrospect, I know that my hormones the entire time I was in that relationship, we were together for 7 years.
Mhm.
And that whole relationship, I was like, oh, I should, um, I was kind of like skirting around it. And I was
Yeah.
having terrible periods. I was having migraines. I was having all kinds of symptoms that I was writing
Mhm.
off as like, oh, my hormones are whacked out because I'm stressed.
Yeah.
And I was putting it to that. But the reality is, yes, there was stress. Yes, I was way overworking. But at the core of it, my body was not in alignment with this person.
Exactly.
And it was showing me in little signs until the point where the baby thing came up. And then it was like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. There's no way
Mhm.
you're having a child with this person.
Mhm.
Yeah. So intuition is the second really big component of creating what it is that we're here to create in this world,
For
babies
sure.
or otherwise.
Yep.
And then the third piece is around our specific lifestyle. So
Mhm.
that's going to be the food that we put into our body, the extra nutrients that we consume,
Mhm.
the quality of our sleep, whether or not we're drinking alcohol, smoking, um, caffeine, just all of the different types of things that
Mhm.
we as humans have chosen to put into our
Mhm.
bodies. Are those pro fertility or anti fertility? And I'm using fertility in a bigger sense here, just like
Uh-huh.
creation, right?
Yeah.
So either your diet, for example, potato chips, right? On most days, I love potato chips. That's my only. So on certain specific days, it may actually be okay for me to eat potato chips and have a net neutral effect on my body. But most of the time, it's having a net negative.
Mhm.
So I then have to say, okay, is this the right thing for me to do right now? And if this is a pattern or a thing that I do a lot, then
Mhm.
is it hurting me or helping me get to my goal for my life,
Mhm.
get to the vision that I want to create in this world?
Mhm.
And in my experience, that has to be a very individualized decision. So we can say, like, yes, in general, kale is good for most people and potato chips are bad for most people. But that's not always the case, right?
Uh-huh.
I've seen people whose bodies react to kale, actually doing them more harm than good.
Wow.
So there are people out there whose immunology responds in a way that's not beneficial.
Interesting.
Something that is generally good for the population.
Okay.
So,
I'm of the belief that nobody really likes kale.
I love kale. If kale was on my sensitivity list, I would be very bummed out.
I'd be okay.
So it's up to us to really fine tune what it is that is moving us to our goal and then moving us away from our goal. Same with sleep. A lot of people are like, oh, you have to get 8 hours, you have to get 7 hours, whatever this have to is.
Yeah.
But in reality, like everyone's bodies need different amounts of sleep. So the best marker for whether or not you're actually sleeping well is, do you wake up rested in the morning?
Mm-hmm.
And if the answer to that is, well, yes, I'm rested after I have my cup of coffee, then no, you're not rested.
Oh.
Working for you. You should be able to go your first hour of awakeness without needing anything in your body.
Mm-hmm.
After that, if you want to drink some coffee, have at it. I have no problem. But if you are the person that like drags themselves out of bed and then you're like, oh, where's my cup of coffee?
Don't talk to me yet.
Then that's not working for you. So things like that are in our lifestyle, and we can just do an inventory of like, do I wake up rested? Do I feel energized for most of the day? Or do I need to have another cup of coffee or another sugary thing to like give me that extra boost in the afternoon? If that's true, then something needs a shift or needs to be dialed in to where you can optimize your sleep so that you're waking up rested. And I think that's a really big foundation that I know it sounds so basic, but I feel like
it's hard to do though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to remember. For me, and I teach my clients this too, that, what would your older, wiser self want for you? Because, when we look back at our younger selves and the way we've talked to ourselves, it's just horrendous. We would never talk to a girlfriend the way that we talk to our own selves. Our own self-talk is just kind of hard. And, our older, wiser self wants the best for us as well. So what can I do in this moment? Or if this decision in front of me is, well, I'm not going to say kale because I'm never choosing kale. But if it's potato chips or like celery sticks or something, a snack that would be healthier, an apple or whatever, I can think of my older, wiser self and I put the apple in my body because I'm protecting her and she's pulling me toward her in a healthy way instead of, oh my gosh, what's ahead for you if you keep eating potato chips?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, like it's okay once in a while.
Yeah.
If it gets to be every single day or multiple times in a week or whatever, I would decide when it is becoming a problem. And then it goes back again to your intuition. Like, is this? And like, I will eat potato chips and be totally blissed. Like, I have no issues. Like, to see me be completely non-guilt about it because probably like once a month.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna enjoy my potato.
That's right. If you're gonna have them, enjoy them.
Right. So it's like I know when I'm on the right path when I'm listening to what my emotions and my hormones are signaling for me. And if I'm eating something out of guilt, or if I'm going to go work out and it's out of guilt, oh, I better go work out because I pay the gym whatever amount of money and I better go make use of it, right?
Yeah.
Versus like, this is my joy. I am finding joy in the things that are in alignment with my vision of myself.
Yeah.
And
love it.
I think that's just such an easier place to live and an easier place to create from, whether it's
absolutely
or anything else.
Right. Right. Yeah. Can you talk a little bit more about the cycle thing? Because, the 24-hour cycle versus our 28-day cycle.
Yeah, absolutely. So our rhythm so actually let's do men first because they're easier.
It's easy. Yeah.
they get a testosterone surge between 4 and 6 a.m. in the morning. And they wake up, their testosterone is already high and it keeps going higher. It peaks around noonish, and then it's going to start getting converted to estrogen. And when that conversion happens, they actually become more sensitive. It's good networking time. It's like good connection time.
Oh, wow.
Even for men, which is why so many social things, happy hour, all around their estrogen clock.
Oh,
So that testosterone is converted to estrogen, and now they're ready to mix and mingle, right?
just have more estrogen. You'll be happy.
They don't need a ton of it, but they're converting a bit of that. Yeah.
Well,
So, that's the male side. And then their testosterone wears off. They get pretty tired. They go to bed. They wake up. Testosterone
start the cycle again.
Start it again. There's no variation from day to day. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is.
Okay.
Their testosterone energy helps them with single focus, right? Like they're doing one thing, they're on a mission, they're going to go do it. With women, we are on a very different clock. And in a cycling female, and I say that because, there might be women that are listening that are in perimenopause, menopause, whatever. At that point, there's some shifts that you can still do to live in tune with the cycle if you want to. So with women, they do have a 24-hour clock. You still need to rest, rejuvenate, and wake up rested in the morning to have a healthy foundation for the 28-day clock.
Okay.
So the 28-day clock then is going to start with cycle day 1, which is the start of your menstrual cycle.
Okay.
So the menstrual phase, usually different women have different lengths of menstrual cycles. It can go anywhere from 2 to 7 days. But in general, the first 3 days are where our hormones are at their baseline, meaning they're the lowest they will be all cycle long. All of the hormones are at their lowest, which is essentially the time for us to be the empty vessel that receives. This is the strongest point in which we can access our intuition.
Okay.
Right? So when we are empty, hormonally and otherwise, then things come in.
Okay.
And we can let it sit with us and we can say, oh, does this feel right for me or not? Is this the right intuition or not? And you can get a lot of access to inner wisdom that other times of the cycle might be very hard to find. So I like to keep my decision making towards that point, especially for big things.
Yes.
If I'm making big decisions, it probably doesn't need to be on any other point of my cycle.
Yeah. Time to buy a car.
Yeah. If I go buy a car in my other phase, I'm going to pick something very different. That's the start of the season I relate this most to is winter. That's like when all the leaves have fallen away. It's very clear to see from one end of the grove to the other end of the grove, right?
Yeah.
Because there are no leaves in the way. So this is the time when things are going to be the clearest.
Okay.
For business people, they're like, well, are you saying that I need to just do nothing for 3 days? Because that's going to be impossible. And I'm like, oh no, I'm a busybody. I can't. But I try to filter away all the unnecessary stuff that I don't need to do.
Okay.
It's a really good time to rest and rejuvenate and rebuild. So the things that I can say no to that are not necessities just go away. Like, it's not the ideal time to be doing podcast interviews, for example. It's not the ideal time to go and be social at a networking event. It's the ideal time to hang out with friends even most of the time. Sometimes I will hang out with friends. It depends on who it is. If it's like one person, it's very low key. I can like vibe with that person in the right way. Then it could be okay. It's also not the time to like overwork out
Oh,
This phase, I want to do resting and rejuvenating.
okay.
Yoga, something
Mhm.
like easy, low key, or just take a few days off, and that's okay. Like I often do that, and I feel no guilt about it. It's like, nope, not going to the gym today.
Uh-huh.
Time, but not today.
Mm-hmm.
So that is kind of our first phase.
Okay.
If a woman is non-cycling, but still wants to live in some kind of harmony with nature,
Uh-huh.
then a really cool thing is the new moon is very
Yes.
similar to the energy of our menstrual cycle.
Okay.
So that's the easy like matchup point.
Yeah, I've been trying to pay attention to the lunar cycles.
Yes.
Now that I'm in that menopausal area.
Yeah.
But yeah, trying to like just pay attention to, I just know, write down like on a calendar, actually, how am I feeling today? And has that correlated to last month? Did I feel this way last month around the same time of this lunar calendar? And it's kind of fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Hmm.
And the same if you're living in tune with the lunar cycle, then you will likely notice like, oh, I get lots of intuition during this time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
So writing down, journaling in some way, writing down your thoughts and being present to whatever it is that the universe and your body is trying to
Yeah.
send you. As
Wow. Cool.
the next phase is going to be the follicular phase, is what it's called in fertility. So follicular phase is the energy of potential creation. So
Mm-hmm.
if you correlate that with our lives, if with business, then it's that energy of what are you creating this month. So
Mm-hmm.
hopefully in the menstrual phase, you've figured out what your best energy is going to be spent on for the rest of the month. And as you go into the follicular phase, you start creating.
Mm-hmm.
So you can start planting the seeds that will come into fruition later in the season.
Okay.
So it is very much like spring energy. So like moving from winter to spring, it's a little bit of a transition. Sometimes it's cold, you're still warming up, but if you're planting, then that's the time that you're going to plant your seeds, right?
Okay.
So that's what you're doing in nature. It's
Makes so
what you're
much
doing in
sense.
your body.
Yeah.
What seeds do I need to plant so that I can harvest
Yeah.
seeds later?
Mm-hmm.
So that and literally like the follicles that are growing in our ovaries during this
Mm-hmm.
phase is literally like planting seeds. It's wild. Like I love how correlated this is to nature.
Uh-huh.
Bigger than us created this.
Of course. Yes.
So that is the follicular phase. And our hormones will kind of start to be on a rise.
Okay.
And the key hormones, first it's testosterone and then it's estrogen. And that testosterone will start to rise, energy starts to go up. We start getting excited. And
Mm-hmm.
it is very similar to male energy in that sense of when testosterone is at its peak, it's going to be
Uh-huh.
really easy to focus. So for women, I always say, like, if you have high focus things that are needing your attention, this is the easiest time to knock it
Do
out,
them then.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You have 50 things on your calendar list. You can be like, click, that's it, done. Everything's done in a matter of days sometimes because your energy is just so much more focused and direct
Okay.
rather than a lot of the other points in the cycle.
Yeah.
And then we're turning into estrogen. So
Okay.
that testosterone converts to estrogen, and then estrogen is going to rise and rise and rise and rise until it reaches its peak. So all the way up to that phase, we are in this like focus, high energy. Estrogen is also like, I call it the magnetizing hormone. It's like you're super magnetic during this time.
Okay.
So if you want to be networking, if you want to be putting yourself out there in whatever way.
Okay.
I coach my ladies to be like, hey, good time for sales is going to come around when your estrogen is peak. Like, no one's saying no to you right now, right?
Wow.
It's going to be so much more easy to connect with, easy
Okay.
for you to connect with other people, easy to like find the synergies and find
Okay.
win, right?
Nice.
So
Okay.
that's what estrogen does in our body.
All right. And that's still part of phase 2, the follicular.
It's they all kind of like bleed into each other.
Yeah.
So it is that like spring, and then when estrogen is peaking, we're starting to be in summer.
Okay.
So it's that like buzzy, summery energy of like you're out in the world and everything's beautiful and you have a million hours in a day, the longest point of the seaboard, right? Like the time to be out in the world.
Okay.
So we have that like mini version in our bodies every single month. So and then if you're syncing to the moon, this is around the full moon.
Okay.
3 to 4 days before the full moon and 3 to 4 days after the
Okay.
like summer season.
Okay.
And then that kind of continues until we get into fall.
Okay.
And fall is probably the trickiest season of all.
Mm-hmm.
And in our body. And then tend to often like, I live in Houston, so summer just like turns into fall in like a blink of an eye. Like summer, and we have like really long summers here. And then before you know it, you're like, wait, what just happened? Like 40 degrees all of a sudden.
I'm not ready.
I'm not ready for this. And unfortunately, we can sometimes miss that fall. The fall is where we're doing the harvest.
Okay.
So when we are in tune, in nature, it is going to be your biggest harvest. This is where you're like, let's harvest the sweet potatoes and green beans and whatever you grew all spring, planted in the spring, grew in the summer, you're going to harvest in the fall. And that is going to bring you through winter. So if you don't do the harvest, then guess what? You are empty going into winter.
Oh, yeah.
Not a great winter. The fall is, I say, like the most important season.
Okay.
What's really like from the work angle, what I like to do is if you are doing harvest, then you're really looking for what are the things that I planted seeds for? How did they grow and evolve? Let me evaluate. And when I'm evaluating, I'm filtering for, yes, do this again, or no, cross this off my list. Like, we don't need to do that ever again. Right? And we keep doing that through all of the different areas of our life. And we say, yeah, that really worked well. I'd like to try that again. Or, yeah, I did that well, but I could have done this different. Let me try that next time. So that reflective period is super crucial to being able to harvest our growth, whatever that growth is.
Yeah. I feel like that's so hard, especially for women, because we say yes to so many things that aren't really aligned with our harvest, with what we've been growing. But we say yes because, we're trying to support everyone around us.
Yeah. Yeah. So get this. When we are in peak estrogen energy, we're going to say yes to everything.
Oh.
Because our hormones make us feel like we're superwomen. So I can be everything to everyone around me, take care of my kid, be the super wife, and be the CEO of my 3 companies, and I can do it all.
For 6 days.
For 6 days. The problem happens when I commit to things during this period that are getting me committed to several weeks down the road.
Yeah.
And if I didn't plan it well, then I am going to be committed to things that are actually not in alignment with.
Fascinating.
So then it takes the integrity of myself to say, actually, I committed to this and it's not in alignment. And there's a mismatch. And if I discern, which is fall, the harvest, if I discern like, oh, that was a poor choice on my part, and I go back to the person and say, listen, I value our relationship. I love you like a sister. I just can't do this right now. I can reschedule it to a different time, or it's so out of alignment for me that I can't do it at all. And being okay with discerning away the things that don't work for you. And that's tricky because we are so much about the relationship. And remember, estrogen is the relationship hormone. So while estrogen is peaked, we're like, oh my God, I love you so much. And oh, how do I make this relationship better? And what can I do? And then when fall comes, shit hits the fan. And this is the time when our body is showing us the most. So a lot of people complain about PMS, right? Like a very common experience for 50% of our world. And what I realized going through the relationship that did not work out and the marriage that was just a bad choice is that I had the worst PMS that I had ever had in my life.
Oh, wow.
And PMS is the harmony of hormones. And I'm calling it a harmony on purpose. It's the way that the hormones are synergizing.
Okay.
That meant to show me that there is a misalignment in my something. And it's not clear what it's about, right? It could be, oh, it's a misalignment for the way that I'm doing my business. It's a misalignment for my job. It's a misalignment for my relationship. But where those emotions show up is the indicator of what the misalignment is. So if I have a week of PMS and I'm like, oh, I'm so bitchy during this time, like, everyone says this, right? Like, I'm bitchy. Or the partner is like, oh God, watch out for that moment. And during that period of time, if my quote unquote bitchiness is anger towards my partner, then that emotion plus the discord of hormones is trying to tell me that something is out of whack in my relationship.
Oh, wow.
Versus if that anger or frustration is showing up with my boss at work, that is an indicator of like, oh, something is out of alignment with my work.
Wow.
It's a really cool way for me to be like, oh, I can be in observation about where the emotions and what are the emotions that are coming up. It's not always anger, right? Sometimes it's, oh, I just am weepy all the time. Well, what are you sad about? Right?
That commercial with the puppy.
No, what's the deeper sadness? What is it reminding you of that's triggering your sadness? When you cry about the puppy in the commercial, I know you're just joking, but it's very real because I've done this exercise with people. Like they're crying about the emotional connection that this woman has with her puppy that they very much want in her life. So the sadness is what's missing from my life.
Oh, wow.
Right? So we just have to get really super skilled at reading what our body and our hormones and our emotions are trying to tell us.
Oh, that's so fascinating.
Yeah. And when you start to see the pattern, you're like, and like, please don't get me wrong. I say this a lot and people will message me like, are you telling me that my relationship is just doomed and I should get a divorce? Well, no, you know what I'm saying.
No.
But what I'm saying is that, hey, if your anger is directed to your partner, the deeper aspect of that is there's some resentment that's building up. So what are you resentful towards him about? And can you work through it? Like, can you use the time that you're doing in harvest where you're reviewing and you're saying, oh yeah, I seem to get upset with my partner a lot. And what am I getting upset about, right? I can like put it down in my journal. See what patterns are coming up. Might take a little while, But as this comes up and as I start seeing the pattern, I can say, oh, I see every time that I'm during this phase in my cycle, I'm getting upset with my husband about the dishes. He's a great example. He didn't do the dishes right. This is like the number of times I do this.
Oh my gosh.
But it comes up because we work with couples.
Yeah.
So he's telling me like she is crazy during this time. And it will take us a little bit of time to say, okay, not about the dishes, it's about something else. What is it about? And what's actually happening a lot of times is that she's feeling unsupported. Like, I don't feel heard and supported in what I need. And during my summer and spring phase, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
like, why does Zoe come up during this time? Like, is she just crazy? Because every other time a month, she's fine.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, no, she's not crazy. She's feeling it the whole month.
Uh-huh.
But
She just puts up with it better.
her hormones are in a different stage
Oh, wow.
and are not paying attention to the fact that you didn't do the dishes right. But when it comes to the fall season, we can't bullshit anymore. If she's upset with you because you didn't do the dishes right, she's gonna be like,
yeah, it's gonna come out.
it's gonna come out. And so the importance of fall is to do the harvest. What I tell a lot of people, especially if there's a lot of energy there, do not have these conversations during that time period.
Good idea.
Wait till you're in your high estrogen period to actually have this conversation.
Yeah.
Because you're in a more connected state.
Yeah.
When you have estrogen floating around in your system and your body's not going crazy. And you can actually have a conversation that leads to connection over having your partner feel attacked or, whatever comes out of that. So it's okay to like notice the patterns and then wait for a different time to have that conversation. Or a lot of times it's anger, frustration coming out towards the boss. And people are like, what? I'm just supposed to quit? I can't quit my job. I'm like, no. Like, what is the resentment about? Like, well, I do so much. Okay, so is it that you're doing so much and you don't feel like you're getting adequately rewarded for it? Yeah. Okay. Is it money or is it recognition? Money. Okay, great. So sounds like you're doing a lot. Sounds like it's time to ask your boss for a raise. Let's wait till you're up summer to ask for that raise. But during the harvest period, let's get really crystal clear on what it is that you're contributing to this team, to this environment, to this boss, to this company.
Yes.
So that your boss can say, oh yeah, I totally see what you're doing. You can see the value. And you've got it like logically listed out of like, this is how much value I create. And in exchange, I would like to get paid more.
Yeah, for sure.
And when you have that conversation in your summer, there's no way your boss is saying no. Especially if you're going with this full report of
have the data.
Yes. Present the data and do it for a high connection period. Right.
Yes.
So,
gosh,
that's the how I envision like using hormones, using the knowledge of our body and the wisdom of our body to help support the vision that we want to create in our lives.
Yeah, I love it. It makes so much sense. And I love the way you explain it. So thank you so much for that.
You're very welcome.
Awesome. Can I switch gears on you a little bit?
Sure.
Okay. So at the end of my conversations, I love to bring it around to cocktails because I love cocktails. So, or a glass of wine. So do you have a favorite beverage that you go to?
So I quit alcohol.
Uh-huh.
About a year ago.
Okay.
And But I have continued I love mixed drinks.
Uh-huh.
My favorite is mezcal. They usually mix it with like grapefruit juice or something.
Mm-hmm.
Some
Mm-hmm.
basil. I forget what they're called. I'll see it on the list and I'll be like, yeah, that one. What's cool is that I found there are lots of these new companies that are like
Yes,
alcohol-free alcohol.
exactly.
So good.
Yeah. So you can
Oh.
still enjoy the cocktail without, but
Without
it's
the
a
alcohol.
mocktail now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that smokiness of the mezcal with the grapefruit and a little
Yeah.
basil. That's so
Yeah.
delicious.
Good. That's your show.
Fun. Okay, so what's a favorite memory or one that comes to mind shared with girlfriends?
Oh, love it. So this was just about 2 months ago. We have a group of girlfriends here that are all the same as me, all brown, meaning Indian.
Uh-huh.
And we're all married to Black men. And so we are kind of a very rare breed.
Is there a club?
Yeah, it's like a secret club that I didn't know existed until here, right? Till I met these women. I was like, oh my God, what's happening? So we went to dinner and then we went for drinks, quote unquote drinks.
Yes.
I had some mocktail
Uh-huh.
and we were out till like 2:30 in the morning.
Wow.
Very rare for me.
Uh-huh.
It's been a long time. So before I knew it, we were like 6 hours deep into conversation.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, just loved every minute.
Oh, yeah, it's so fun. I mean, you can get so wrapped up with the girls. It's so important to keep those connections and to really have that girlfriend time is important.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
And so one of the things that I share a lot is there's a hormone called oxytocin, which is
Yes.
a balancer to cortisol.
Uh-huh.
And there's lots of ways to get oxytocin into our body. Almost all of them are free. And one of my favorite ways is time with women.
Oh.
Being in groups and circles of women,
Mm-hmm.
connecting deeply with deep, like eye-gazing, soulful conversation
Uh-huh.
is a very good way to release
Aw.
oxytocin, and it's a good neutralizer of cortisol.
Uh,
So,
that.
yeah, the more you can do that, the better.
Oh, you heard it here from our doctor. Oh my gosh, Dr. Aumatma, thank you so much for your time. This has been amazing.
You're very welcome. It's good to be here.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I will keep you posted as I get closer to releasing it. I've got several recordings in my system that I'm waiting to release, but yours is so fun. I may bump yours up a little bit. It could be well, if I go in order, it would be probably towards the end of February, but I think I'll bump you up because this was fun.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, this was fun.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you so much. Well, you know what? Did you email me your contact information, like where people can find you?
I think my assistant probably.
Okay.
If you didn't get it, just let me know. And I
Okay.
can send it to you.
I'll look. If I probably have it and I just don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll go look for it.
I didn't say this earlier, but I am writing a book on all of what we're talking about.
Nice.
And that book will be out sometime this year. So I do have a wish list so that I can get people like alerted of like, hey, the book is out.
Where can people find you if they want to connect and learn about your book?
Awesome. So the best place is connect with me on Instagram. I'm at Holistic Fertility Doctor. And I have created a wait list for the book. And anyone on this list will get a free like first chapter, intro, all of that.
Nice.
And you can find that at holisticfertilityinstitute.com/hormonal.
Nice. Okay. Wonderful. Well, I will
Or
put that in
better.
the show notes too, so people can find you really easily.
Yes. Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Well, have a great evening, and I'll be talking with you soonish.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
That's a wrap on this episode of Penny for Your Shots. If you loved today's conversation, don't let the inspiration stop here. Get my weekly insider updates straight to your inbox. It's where I spill behind the scenes goodies, exclusive tips, and all the fun stuff I don't always share on the podcast. Sign up now at pennyforyourshots.com/insider. I'll see you in your inbox next Thirsty Thursday. Cheers!